The story was first recorded in the form of a novella by the English writer and poet Robert Southey, and first published anonymously in 1837 under the title The Tale of the Three Bears in a collection of his writings entitled The Doctor. That same year Southey's short story was published by editor George Nicol, who recognized the anonymous author of The Doctor as the great original inventor of the story. 34 Southey was pleased with Nicol's attempt to publish the story because he feared that children would ignore it in The Doctor. 5 Nicholas's version was illustrated with engravings by B. Southey. In this version, the three bears live in a castle in the middle of the woods and are visited by a fox named Scrapfoot, who drinks their milk, sits on their chairs, and sleeps in their beds. This version is part of the first series of stories about the fox and the bears 3. 14. It is possible that Southey heard Scrapfoot and mistook his muse for a synonym for an evil and spiteful old woman. The story of the three bears was in circulation before Southey's story was published. 7. In 1813, for example, Southey told the story to his friends, and in 1831 Eleanor Morritt compiled a manual pamphlet about the three bears and the old woman for his cousin Horace Brock. 3. Southey and Morritt differ in detail. Tartars claims it occurred in 1852, 17, while Catherine Briggs suggests it occurred in 1878 with Mother Goose's Tales, published by Routledge. 1416 with the publication of Aunt Fanny in 1852. The bears became a family in the illustrations for the story, but the three bears were left alone in the text. Once the girl entered the tale, she remained, suggesting that the children preferred the attractive girl in the tale to the ugly old woman. In Robert Southey's version, 3 anthropomorphic bears, little bear, bear cub, medium bear cub, and big bear cub, live together in a house in the woods. Elm suggests that Bettelheim may have neglected the anal aspect of the tale, which would have made it useful for child personality development. In his Handbook of Psychobiography, Elms describes Southey's story not as a development of Bettelheim's post-diphthological self, but as a Freudian pre-diphthological analysis. According to him, the story is addressed primarily to preschoolers, who were concerned with sphincter control, maintenance of environmental order and behavior, and despair when order is disturbed. Like the three bears, the gnomes shout, "Someone was in my chair, someone ate from my plate, and someone slept in my bed." Spies also see similarities to a Norwegian fairy tale in which a princess takes refuge in a cave, inhabited by 3 Russian princes in bear skins. In 1894, folklorist Joseph Jacobs discovered Scrapfoot, a tale with a fox as antagonist and striking similarities to Southey's story, which in oral tradition may predate Southey's version. The original version of the tale tells the story of an angry old woman who, while away, breaks into the forest home of 3 bachelors. There are also 3 sequences in which the bears, one after the other, discover that someone has eaten their porridge, in which they sit in their chairs and finally lie in their beds, culminating in the discovery of Goldilocks. This scheme represents the evolution of the primitive trio of 3 traditional male bears into a family consisting of father, mother, and son. In the 1860 publication, the bears eventually became a family, both in the text and in the illustrations. Old Papa Bear, Mama Bear, and Little Bear. In the Routledge publication circa 1867, Papa Bear is called roughly brown, Mama Bear is a mama bear, and the baby bear is called Tiny.